Hi guys, here I am. I'm sorry I'm late today. Okay, here I am. Good afternoon to you. Okay, here I am. Sorry I'm late. I was late. I am late today. I'm sorry. Hi. Ciao. Sorry. So, how are you guys? Yeah, I was late because this time I did a mistake in checking the time available I had before I started my live of today, and that's why you were there waiting and I was not yet connected. Hello to everybody. We are already 14. That's great. At least to be late is not so. Luan, yes. Divyang Patel. Hello. So Divyang Patel, I think he's new. Rohit, I remember Rohit. That's okay. That's good. Ario Ecstasy, yes. Ciao. So, I think that the interior sketching was pretty nice last time. And I have to tell you the truth that I had a lot of fun in sketching. Hi, Felipe Gomes. I had a lot of fun in sketching interiors. So, if you don't mind, this time I would like to do with you the same thing. Means let's go back and do a little bit more interiors, okay? Finally, we have good weather in UK, no rain. That's great. In Paris, the same thing. This morning we had a little bit of rain, but now there is a very nice sun. It's a very nice sunny day, and the rain is already dried up. Can we sketch into you one more? Yes, Ario, that's what I want to do. So it's nice. I like to do interiors, even if generally I always do exteriors. So we will do that. Don't worry. And what I want to do with you this time is to show you something else, always about interior sketching. Last time, what did we do together? We did the three important perspectives, okay? But an interior design designer, when he starts sketching interiors, most of the times he starts from a block, okay, which is the dashboard, and he starts thinking about dashboards. So he does a lot of thumbnail sketches about dashboards concepts. And that's a way to exercise his creativity and trying to search for something new. So that's what I would like to do with you today. Let's have an approach more interior designer oriented, right? So what I will do now, I will take the camera, put it on our magic support, okay? We'll do some adjustments, and then when everything is fine, I'll get my pencil, I'll sharpen my point, and we will start. Okay, so be patient, I change the point of view. Okay, so let's see if we can fix this because we don't like to see cables pending. All right. All right. So let me see. Let me find a nice pencil. Okay, I get the blue pencil. So looks like now it looks good. Hi, Fathy. You know what, Freddy? I don't know if you know, but we really started late because of my fault. But anyway, no big deal. Don't worry. So I am still adjusting a little bit the camera so that we have a very good. Okay. So, as I said, you have to imagine that we have when we have an interior, you know that interior have a different type of design philosophy. And to show you this, I will just use a marker to make a very quick a very quick example. For example, we have okay, we have this one. A violet pencil is very nice, as long as it's a dark violet. Okay, then we can have this one. We can have this one. So basically, what I am doing is just design philosophy of interior setups. Okay. Hi Siddharth. Ciao. Welcome back. So when I do this, basically this is not design, okay? We know, but it's telling us some stuff. For example, this one, okay? I think that by now you understand what I am doing. Those are architecture types of interior dashboards, setups, or layout. Here we have our steering wheel, okay? We have a dashboard, we have a center console, okay? That it's attached to the dashboard. We have our instrument panel in front of the steering wheel. And this is called the T shape, okay? Because it looks like a T, okay? Even at the time when I'm working on the project, I'm turning them into the computer rendering drawings. This one is similar, but we have a center console that it's not touching the ground. It could be a dashboard with some sort of center furniture that is a kind of short, not touching. So here it's free underneath. This one is just a horizontal dashboard with the instrument panel, because we always have an instrument panel, and no center console or attachment between the dashboard and the floor. And yeah, it's floating. Thank you very much. It's a floating console. And this one, it's a floating dashboard, horizontal, but with a small console which is attached to the ground, to the ground, yeah, and it's the floor, and it's not touching our dashboard. And there are a lot of brands that they do only this, and they will never do this, or they only do this and they will never do this, and vice versa. So this is just to show you when uh, when interior design department starts making an interior design for a certain type of car with a certain type of briefing and car category, whether it's a segment A, small, or C or D, which big car, they go according to this type of philosophy. Okay, so this was just to put us into the mood of interior sketching, okay, philosophy. And now let's start doing some sketching. So, ideation sketching about interior. And if we have a dashboard, we always have to start from our basic shape. So, can you see it? Now, to this shape, what we do? We go and put the center line. So the center line should be around here. We make it a light center line, okay? Perspective is this one. Those are perspective lines. So we need those just to make sure we don't make mistakes. That doesn't look like it's crooked or it's twisted. Okay. And we know that when we have a dashboard, we have a windshield here, okay? So let's make a round surface for the windshield, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna take this line, which is the first important line we have, and I make it a little bit darker, okay? So that we can see it really well. You see? Now, when we know where our windshield is, we know that here we should have our A pillar. Which is more or less in that area. So I take this point here following my perspective line, okay, which is this one, and this one, and this one, okay? I go back here, this point here, I go back here, and I would say the same thing. You see? So we have now both A pillar, we have a windshield, okay, center line, and this is the center line of our windshield. Okay. Now we know that our dashboard, the body of our dashboard, cannot be straight like that. You know, we know that all dashboard always are a little bit in curve, of course, or maybe like that. Honestly, like that is ugly. But every dashboard, let me make. I'm searching for something to help you to understand what I mean. Okay, so can you see this? This is, okay, like this surface here, there, like that, okay? So this is a straight surface. And we know that the dashboard of our car, if you go and check your car, it's never straight like that. It's always a little bit like this, you see? I exaggerate a little bit just to make you understand. So this surface should be a little bit like that. Okay, so now that we understand that principle, I am going to do it. So if this is our center line and this proportion is pretty nice, I'm gonna take this point and this point and I'm going to push them over there a little bit. So I'll put them here. Look. And I'm going to draw again those two lines. Okay? Let's do it. And of course the top also. Can you see? Let's see what Siddharth is writing about. Sir, how to measure the thickness of a pillar, or this it depends totally on the engineer. The real thickness of a pillar, B pillar, or C pillar, it's of course given by the typical mechanical section of the inside structure, which is, I'm not gonna sketch it for you, but it's a two sheet metal bended, stick together, welded together to make a structure. And this should be around 25-30 millimeters. Then on top of that, we have to put our plastic, carter, which is designed by designers, basically. Okay, so now we have. Now, another thing we know that this surface is not flat like a table, okay? This one, it cannot be like this, but should be a little bit like that. All right? And let's do it. So this point comes down here. You see? This means that this line here in reality is down now because we took that surface and we are bending that surface down. Okay. And the same thing is this surface here. This one cannot be that like that. It cannot be straight. So we have to do something that it's more, how can I say, it's more realistic. So in general, this surface here, it's bended also. And it is bended in a very different way. I'm going to show it to you. First of all, let's take this line and bring it up here. Okay? Then let's sketch again this surface here. Okay, now that we have this, can you see that we are starting to model a dashboard volume. You know, now it's starting to come out. So now we have a center line here, okay? This is the bottom part of our dashboard, okay? And we know that this is the passenger area and this is the driver area. So in the passenger area, we know that we have an airbag, okay? The airbag can be on this surface, under this surface, or can be in this area here. So if we have an airbag that is fixed on top of our dashboard surface, this one, then here we can open up to make arrangement, right? We can put some glove compartment. We can have everything open. Like, for example, this. You see? And the airbag is in this area here. I will make the section again. All right, can you see? So the airbag is here. The surface has this section that is coming down, also because when we have an airbag under the top of our dashboard, we cannot have any objects that are standing there still, like a pen or I don't know what else, or like a lipsticks, for example, for our girlfriends. It's impossible because when the airbag here will open, popping out the surface because of a crash, we don't have to have any objects that becomes like a projectile that is projected on the face of the people, blessing people. The airbag has to come out to protect us. That's why we make those sections here on top always coming down, so that if I put something, it comes down. We cannot leave any objects up there. But in this area, we can put objects because this is protected. It's inside and the airbag is on top. So even if the airbag explodes from the top of our dashboard, the objects that are there, open or with a cover, they will be always protected and will remain in this area. So this is the conceptual architecture thinking of a dashboard with the top airbag mounted and fixed here on top of the dashboard, under the skin. Then, of course, under here, we have still space to put our glove compartment that will come out here. Coming down like this. Okay, so now that we treated the passenger side, let's see what happens now to our driver side. You see, I'm putting some details so that we can start reading our dashboard. The one that dictates me more is how the was taken, but I think it came from my imagination. Imagination is allowing not to be. Yes, of course, Felipe. It's your imagination. It's your creativity. If you don't have creativity, you can sketch, but you cannot produce anything creative. So, the step number one today for you is to understand how we built a dashboard, how the dashboard is it's conceived, okay? How he's thought about the needs of the passenger side, the center part, and the driver side, okay? Once that we understand that, I will do this again, very quick sketching, we'll do this afterward, okay? And then we can start doing a dashboard. If I don't explain to you this, you will never really understand how to sketch quickly a dashboard with the right proportions and most of all, knowing exactly what do we put on a dashboard in every area of that dashboard and why we're doing that. All right? Okay, so now let's go and see what happens to the driver area, which is this one. Okay, this one, the driver area. First of all, we know that around this area here, we have a steering wheel, all right? And this is the space of the steering wheel. So I'm cutting surface there, you see? You see, I open up a hole there so that I can put inside my stuff. The windshield and the excuse me, the steering wheel and its support. The support is there, all right. And our steering wheel more or less is there. So when we do sketches, the steering wheel, we never really sketch the steering wheel. We just put lines to give an idea that we have a steering wheel. But we don't do a lot of details because what is more important is the big chunk of the dashboard. So what do? Well, we do those type of line with the right proportion, you know, so that we know that this is our steering wheel in the air at the right place. Okay. And here the same. So you see, we have a steering wheel there. So this is our steering wheel support, okay? There you go. Then our steering wheel can be something like that. Okay, now in front of the steering wheel, we have, of course, the instrument panel. Okay, I'm going to give it. I'm going to draw for you a very banal, stupid, okay, no creative instrument panel, just to show you the architectural construction of our dashboard perspective. Okay, so if I take the center line from the steering wheel, because it is exactly on the same axis of the steering wheel in front, then we can imagine that we have something like this, okay? So look, I'm doing this because this is the dashboard instrument panel. In this point, we're gonna put our instrument panel, and the instrument cannot be straight. It has to be a little bit inclinated to make sure that its axis goes with the eyes of the driver, right? So that's why I'm doing this surface coming down, and this one, I'm putting this angle there, you see? I'm doing very schematic, okay? Like that. And then on top of every instrument, we have always a cap, something that protects from the sunlight to go onto our instrument panel. And during the driving in summer, in certain type of weather conditions, with a lot of sun coming from the back or from the side, it could be impossible to see. So we have always a sort of a cap, okay, that has a very nice distance between the surface of our instrument panel and the beginning of our cap, okay, which is protecting everything. So let's make our cap. Okay. All right. So now you have an idea about a dashboard. But what we still missing is in the center, usually we have air vents, okay? So we can imagine that in this area, we have air vents, okay? And also we have air vents on the side. This bottom part is in shadow because it is in shadow. All right. Our A pillar on this side, we see it and we don't see it. It's kind of transparent. See that some companies put instrument panel in middle of the dashboard like Toyota. Yes, it's true. Yeah, that depends also. You see about what we said before. To this point, some people, yeah, we could do this one, as you said, which is like that, and it's like this. Okay. With the center instrument panel. Okay, so now we have this. I'm gonna start hitting some lines a little bit more, okay, so that I can get a better idea of what I've done. Okay, so in the center here, we have always some sort of commands, okay, buttons, some stuff, radio, whatever. Is this area here. And then we have here also, most of the times, we have also all the buttons related to heating system, air conditioning, and stuff like that. Then if I take our center line and I do this, imagine that our proportion is like that, okay? I can imagine to have a sort of center lower console, okay? Something very basic, okay? Okay. Now, this is how we make a construction of a dashboard thinking about the driver, the center, and the passenger. Yeah, exactly. Bravo, Marcin. Now, now that we did this, okay? All right, perfect. But how do we do some really interesting creative stuff? You know? Okay, let me use a felt tip pen. A lot of people use that. So I can do some stuff like this. Look. I put a center line. You see, I'm already doing a quick sketch. You see, just to start thinking about volumes, you know. So this one we did is very basic. It's very squarish. Then I told you how we take the surface and how we make the surface so that we can create an environment according to the architecture of a dashboard. Okay, this one is just to start sketching. Okay, then maybe I don't like this one, so I do another one here. Always my box. Okay, I put a center line. Okay, and then I decided I would like to have, for example, I don't know. This is my steering wheel. And then I really want a sort of a big furniture in the center and a big display here and a small display here. You see? And those are all concepts of dashboards. Maybe we can have a small display there for everything it's music, you know? Then here we have, of course, our center console. All right? So those are quick sketches. And then I start, pick one of those, and I start saying, well, let's see what happens if I put this a little bit in perspective, okay? So I go and I do this. So I said I'm gonna put a sort of a center display oriented to the driver. Okay. So let me put it. Some reflections. Okay. And then I have the center part that comes from here. With another display in this area. So I'll do some sections. And then here in front of the driver, I'm going to have another display. All right. You see? So now I took this one and I put it a little bit in perspective. And there is a nice feeling because we have this big, huge surface coming down like that. Now let me take a black pencil, okay? Which is this one. And let's put some volume here, okay? You see, I'm starting to understand how is the volume. Then I can take the marker and put it where there is a lot of shadow, okay? All this is in shadow. You see? So this is quick sketching for interior, and we can continue. Let's find a clean paper. So what is important about this one, I'm taking back the sketch. What is really important is this section here. Look. You see? This section. Very nice. Which comes from here. Coming down. So we have to do something. We have to repeat this exercise, keeping in mind this section here with this element. If I make a section there, okay, like this should be like that. Steering wheel is here. Can you see it? And this is nice. Why? Because all this part here, which is all this part here, okay, all this one, all this, the top of the dashboard, we can imagine it to be soft material. All this, one block, zack, soft. Then down here, we have a hard plastic, okay, and if I make a section, we can have our glove compartment inside, okay, that comes down. And the nice thing here, in terms of quality, okay, quality design, is that this line here, which is the conjunction of two materials, it's done in this way here. So that if your eye, it's here, when you look down, you never see the conjunction between the two plastic elements here. So this is called a cut line that's hidden, or a conjunction between two materials that is hidden. And that's a very wise good way to make stuff that are together, made of different materials. The angle of the steering wheel, of course, to make it believable, you have to make a sketch that it looks like your steering wheel is very well placed, of course, unless if your steering wheel is not well placed, it is exactly the same thing when we do not make good wheels on our exterior design cars. Sketching. Okay. All right. So if I think about that, let me see. Let me see something. You see, I'm drawing that section. Before I do everything, I just start from that section because that's the section I like. You see? Then I put my steering wheel, all right? And I know that I want to do something like this. You see? So I keep on doing my construction. And of course, in this perspective, I have new details that come out, and I have to decide how to make those details. You see? So here I want to have a real nice radius to make it nice. If it's everything is hard breaking, it's gonna be too architectural, it's gonna be too rigid. Yeah, looks simple and perfect. Thank you. Okay, and then same thing here. Okay, so now that we have this furniture in the center, our center console. You see? Okay, so we stop our console here. And then, of course, our console has to have a sort of how can you say armrest, of course, because we want to make it really nice, kind of rich console. You see, trying to improvise a armrest in which we, of course, we can open it up, and we have inside. Inside, we must have, of course, some arrangement, some space available. So, who decided ergonomics, like which button knob should be where? Oh, there is. Charles, sir, can you also please show how to close the left end of the dash? Yeah, I understand this area. Yeah, we'll do it. You will do it. About the ergonomics, there is a group of engineers that are experts in ergonomics, okay, and they work with another group of engineers that are experts in terms of passive and active security ergonomics. Means that when you're driving, something happens, there is a number one priority type of buttons or commands that you have to touch or see. And then there is a level number two, which is less important, and a level number three, which is not important, but we must have, like for example, music. So there are those people that make a sort of a hierarchy, and we all learn so that when we have our sketches, we make our sketch, we really know what we. Okay, so okay, now I would like to. Voilà, I'm closing the left side, okay? And now that I have this, what I want to do is just to make some shading so that I see the volume, the volumes of this dashboard, okay? So that I can make corrections if necessary. For example, this one should be a little bit lower, I think. You see? Yeah, it's better like that. This one is here. It's not there, it's here. So I take this area, it's really, you see? Okay. Now, what we want to do, we want to make sure that the top of our dashboard here, it looks good, okay? And I'm doing another thing here. Look, I'm changing the section here because it looks much better like that. You see? I'm still changing it. There's still space to make some changes, okay? So that this section, we have the section that's this, then comes inside, and then comes outside again. You see? Combo Yerman, but those engineers are not also professional. To deliver correct data, they take ages and forever, and always needs a lot of changes. But you know what, Combo? The truth is that we work together. It's a teamwork. Designers, engineers together, or every type of engineers, okay? And then we decide together there are some things that we must respect in terms of design. For example, as I said, that the airbag goes there or it goes there. We cannot put it on the A pillar because it does not exist on the A pillar. So we have to respect and live with those type of hard points. But thanks to our creativity, we can get out of it some really interesting stuff. Believe me. Today I had a meeting about 2 hours with the engineers of architecture for an interior. And at the beginning, they were not, how can I say, they were not too happy because we made some stuff, okay, that we think it's correct. So what, at the end, after 2 hours of talking, sections, measuring, at the end it was good. At the end, we had to do a little bit of change, okay, no big deal. They accepted those changes to make other little changes, and we all together made a very nice. We had a very nice end of the meeting, and everybody was happy. Okay, so now we want to put here our first display. We said in this area we're going to have another one which is kind of floating, okay, and here we can have a nice display that is kind of used only for music stuff, so things that we don't have to see. We can just put our hand and know where we are. In the front, we can put a very nice opening so that we can put our personal objects inside, okay? Right? You see? Well, I'm very schematic, of course. Here we can imagine then I take my felt tip black pen to make my okay, first one, second one. Those are sort of quick reflections on the glass of our display, okay? And this could be, a quick interior sketch with a lot of information, okay? To be used, for example, in a meeting, with the other, with other sketches to show what we could do. All right. Oh, I see. Thank you for the explanation. We'll like to work with you. Thank you, Combo. Sir, I want to ask, do we have to sketch side mirrors when we design car interior? No. Side mirrors, what you want to do here? Why do you want to do this thing that nobody is doing anymore? Why do you want to do that? Oh my god, I made a side view mirror. It's on the video, live. Can you believe it? Okay, so look, we did a lot of stuff today. Once again, okay, trying to understand a little bit more about sketching interior. Okay, so I hope you liked it, sir. Can we remove the console, center console? Or I think it is more important. No, the center console is not 100% important. It all depends on your sketch. It all depends on your want to do. You know what do you want to do? Because you can also imagine. You can imagine to have, for example, some interiors. Okay, all right, that do not have any console. You know that here everything is it's flat. Why not? Why not? It all depends on what you want to do. It depends on what you have in mind. And the most interesting thing is that if you have in mind something that it's really challenging, something really new, then that's what you have to sketch. Because to do this, it's I mean everybody does that. You know, if you see a lot of cars have this type of combination or this type of combination coming from those type of philosophy, okay, coming from quick sketches and stuff like that. But if you think that you can do something that is really unique, then you have to do it. You know, you have to do it because when we look at portfolios, that's what we would like to look at. The old cars that were without console. Yeah, though they had small console, small ones. I can imagine to do something that is, I don't know. I'm trying to do something dirt and quick and dirty. Now imagine that we have here I don't know, sort of a dashboard with an instrument panel here, okay, inside. And here, a big opening, okay, so you can put object inside here. This is the instrument. All right, here we have our steering wheel. And then we have just a screen that is dedicated to the driver. Why not something like that? You see? It would be nice to understand this type of section that is basically a dashboard that does this, that does that, that does this, and does this. You see? With the instrument here, our steering wheel here, our display in this area. This is a section, okay, in X. It could be nice like that. You see, very different from what we did before. So the most important thing when you do a dashboard research, remember those sections, on your body. Those are very important. Those are very important. Those sections, because you see how the section will change. Look close. Look how this is different. You see, from this approach. Look here, it's a big radius here. And of course, if I put a big radius here, all this surface is gonna be done in a certain way. And now when I change that section, look, sort of a splitted surface here, with one stair. You see? It's very different. But we started from the same. So this is a way to show you that you're starting away and then creativity starts getting into your brain and you say, but what the heck, why don't I change? Let me see. Let me see what happens. Would I like it? If I like it, then keep it. If you don't, no big deal. You did a sketch, you put it aside, and you go back to the original idea. All right? Okay, now stay there because I'm going to change the orientation of... Hi guys, here I am back. Okay. So that... So we spend an hour together, which is pretty good. A little bit more than an hour. That's great. So once again, what I've showed to you today is just another way to exercise your creativity. So what is the tool, the best tool to use what is inside of you and get it out? It's sketching. It's sketching, of course. And as we did for the exterior design, sketching interiors, I showed you basically the same process. The most important thing, you're welcome, Fetty. The most important thing is that you understand that a dashboard is divided into three parts. The part it's dedicated to the driver with everything that is listed, okay, for the driver, which is instrument panel, steering wheel, and what type of things are around there. And then you have a center part which is connected or not connected to a central console that can be used by passenger and driver. And then you have a third part which is the passenger part, which will have, of course, an architecture with an airbag. That's, of course, for security. To put the airbag on top or in the front means that you can do certain things or you cannot do certain things in design. And then you know that you have a glove compartment, some arrangements, some screens, displays, or iPad support, some stuff that will help the passenger during the trip to have a very nice, easy, kind of nice life on board. And then you have to think, I'm doing a sketch, I'm proposing a design. Why am I proposing this sketch, this design for an interior? Because your objective is, most important one, is to make sure that the driver and the passengers, also those who are in the back, sitting in the back, can have a very nice journey. And because today we have lots of new technology like autonomous driving, can you imagine how will change the life on board if you're gonna spend 3 hours with a car that will drive for you and you don't have to drive? So I won't tell you what, but you can imagine. All right? So in my case, Ray, I do more exteriors. Yes, more exterior design. But I'm not really anymore designing myself. I am manager. I'm a design manager. So I work in a team, okay, with a very nice colleagues, very good professionals. some young, some are a little bit older, and all of them have very incredible professionality, but also incredible creativity, lots of knowledge. So I learn a lot with them. And we do excellent projects together. We have a lot of fun, of course. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. Next, our and passion, of course, Marcin. Passion is the key. It's the key word to move on in this field. No passion, there is no good job, of course. So thank you very much for your attention. Go back and check this video. Share the video if you can, if you wish, of course. Yeah, I hope you learned something. I did because I exercised on interiors, which is something that I do not do often. And I promise next time they will be nicer looking, all right? And next time will be, of course, on Monday. And Monday we will go back on the exterior design, trying to do some stuff that are very, very creative and not just didactically correct, okay? So we will do something really exciting on exterior design. Maybe we'll do a spaceship, who knows? All right? Okay, thank you for your support. Ciao, guys. Bye bye.